pause for a second. I want you to look around the room you are sitting in right now. The walls, the chair, the phone in your hand, every single thing you see, every single thing, was once just a thought inside someone's mind. A flicker, an idea, nothing more. And yet here it is, solid, real, touchable. Now think about this. If a thought can build a skyscraper, a song, an airplane, a company worth billions, what do you think your thoughts are building inside your life right now? Because here is the truth nobody wants to tell you. The life you are living today is not random. It is not bad luck. It is not the universe being unfair to you. The life you are living today is the exact, precise reflection of the thoughts you have been feeding yourself for years. And if that sounds heavy, do not close this video yet, because it also means something beautiful. It means you are never stuck. Not really. The moment you change the way you think, you change the way you live. And in the next 16 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how, using the lessons from two powerful books. One written by a man who left everything behind to live as a monk, and another written by a woman who rebuilt her life from rock bottom. Two completely different journeys, one shared truth. Stay with me. Let me tell you about a young man named Jay Shetty. He was 18 years old, a student at a business school in London, doing what every ambitious kid does, chasing money, chasing titles, chasing the dream of being somebody one day. One evening, a friend asked him to come listen to a monk speak. He laughed at first. Why would he waste an evening listening to a monk? He wanted to hear from CEOs, from billionaires, from people who had actually accomplished something. But he went. And something strange happened. Sitting in that hall listening to this calm man in a saffron robe, Jay fell in love, not with a person, but with an idea. The idea that real success is not about what you gather. It is about what you let go of. Now flip the camera. Move from that hall in London to another corner of the same city. There is a young woman named Roxie Nafousi. She is 27. She has no job, no direction, no purpose. She has battled depression for over a decade and addiction for almost as long. She has just flown back from a yoga retreat in Thailand, hoping it would heal her. 24 hours later, she is back to the same cycle of smoking, drinking, drugs. She breaks down. She calls her friend Sophia, crying, asking, "When will I ever feel happy?" And Sophia says one sentence that changes everything. "I just heard about something called manifesting. I think you should listen." Two people, two rock bottoms, two completely different doorways. One walks into an ashram in India. The other walks into a nail salon in London with her headphones in. But both of them, in that exact moment, discovered the same secret. The secret that your outer world is built by your inner world. And if you want to change what you see, you have to first change what you are. So let me walk you through this journey, because it is not just their story, it is yours too. Jay discovered that the human mind is almost always in one of two states. He calls them the monkey mind and the monk mind. The monkey mind jumps from thought to thought like a restless animal. It complains, it compares, it criticizes, it gets distracted by every little thing. It chases short-term pleasure and hides from long-term growth. It is controlled by anger, worry, and fear. And if you are honest with yourself for just 1 second, you will see that most of us live our entire lives inside the monkey mind. We wake up and we scroll. We compare our life to a stranger's highlight reel. We get upset about a message. We think about something someone said to us 3 years ago. We jump, but there is another way of being, the monk mind. The monk mind is focused. It digs down to the root instead of chopping at the leaves. It is disciplined. It looks for meaning, not just pleasure. It commits. It sees life with clarity instead of confusion. And here is what nobody tells you. Both of these minds live inside you right now. The one that grows stronger is the one that you feed. And how do you feed the right one? You start by letting go. Jay learned something on his very first day in the ashram that shook him. He watched a 10-year-old monk teaching 5-year-olds, and he asked, "What are you teaching them on their first day?" The little monk said, "We are teaching them how to breathe." Jay was confused. Breathe? The child said something Jay never forgot, because the only thing that stays with you from the moment you are born until the moment you die is your breath. Everything else can change, your friends, your family, your country, but your breath stays. When you are stressed, your breath changes. When you are angry, your breath changes. So if you learn to control your breath, you can navigate any situation in life. Stop and feel that. You have been given a tool your whole life, sitting in your own chest, free, and you have been ignoring it. Now here is where Roxie's story connects. Because while Jay was learning the monk way of letting go, Roxie was learning what she calls the art of manifesting. And people get this word wrong all the time. They think manifesting is about closing your eyes, wishing for a Ferrari, and hoping it shows up in your driveway. It is not. Manifesting, according to Roxie, is about becoming the person who could actually receive the life you want. It is not about attracting things. It is about unlocking the most empowered, most self-loving, most authentic version of yourself that already lives inside you, sleeping, waiting to be woken up. And she says this beautiful thing. The greatest gift manifesting can ever offer us is not to help us possess things. It is to help us unleash the magnificent version of ourselves we were always meant to be. Let me paint a picture for you. Roxie tells the story of sitting with her best friend Leah, helping her make a vision board, candles lit, music playing, magazines and markers spread across the floor. Roxie watches Leah start to write something, then stop. Write something, then stop. Finally, Roxie asks, "What are you not writing down?" Leah says. "I just want to be realistic." That word, realistic. It is the graveyard of dreams. We kill our biggest desires before they even get a chance to be born because we are scared of looking stupid, scared of failing, scared of hoping too much. Leah had written the number 10 next to new clients. Then she scratched it out and made it 5. Why? Because she did not want to put something down in case it did not happen. Roxie realized something in that moment that I want you to hear clearly. When we give ourselves full permission to dream, our fears and doubts have nowhere to hide. But when we edit ourselves before we even begin, we are not being humble. We are being haunted. Haunted by a voice that says you are not enough. You do not deserve it. People like you do not get that kind of life. And here's the hard truth that both books scream from different pages. You do not manifest from your conscious thoughts alone. You manifest from what you believe deep down that you are worthy of. The subconscious runs 95% of your life. So you can say the affirmation 1,000 times, but if underneath it, in the dark basement of your mind, you believe you are unworthy, unlovable, not smart enough, not beautiful enough, not capable, that is what will play out in your life. Over and over and over. Which brings us to the most important work any of us will ever do, the inner work. Now listen to me very carefully. I know this might be touching something real right now, because we all carry these little whispers. The voice that says, "Who do you think you are?" The voice that says, "Do not try, you will just embarrass yourself." The voice that sounds suspiciously like a parent, a teacher, an ex, a bully from school. Jay teaches this process he calls spot, stop, swap. First, you spot the negative thought. You catch it like a mosquito in the room. You do not ignore it. You do not pretend it is not there. You see it. Then you stop. You pause. You ask where this thought is really coming from. Is this really you? Or is this the echo of someone who once made you feel small? And then you swap. You replace it. Not with fake positivity, but with something truer. A thought that serves the person you are trying to become. Roxie teaches almost the exact same idea, just in different words. She says, "How do you talk about yourself to yourself?" Most of us have a voice inside our heads that speaks in the cruelest ways. It calls us unworthy, unlovable, stupid, not enough. And here is something she asks people to do in her workshops. She will ask a room full of people to say out loud, "I am wonderful. I am beautiful. I am perfect exactly as I am. I love myself." And almost everyone squirms. They laugh. They feel silly. It feels unnatural. Then she asks them to say, "I am worthless. I am never enough." And people say, "Too easy. Let that sit for a second." It has become easier for us to insult ourselves than to love ourselves. We have practiced cruelty toward our own souls so many times that kindness feels foreign in our own voice. And if you do not believe this is slowly shaping your life, you are not paying attention. Because every single word you say to yourself is a brick, and brick by brick, you are building either a cage or a cathedral. Now, there is one more obstacle between you and the life you want, and it is the oldest enemy of human potential. It is fear. Jay tells the story of the great warrior Arjuna from the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is the most talented archer in the land. He is standing on the battlefield, bow in hand. But when he looks across, he sees that many of the people about to die are people he loves, and fear paralyzes him. He drops his bow. The strongest warrior in the world forgets how to fight, because fear has disconnected him from his own power. That is what fear does to you and me every day. It does not stop you from dying. It stops you from living. It whispers, "Do not start that business. Do not send that message. Do not leave that relationship. Do not chase that dream. Do not speak up. Do not stand out. Stay small. Stay safe. Stay silent." And you listen. And you shrink. Until one day you wake up and realize the cage you are in, you built. But fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal, a warning flag. What you do with it is what defines the rest of your life. You can let it paralyze you, or you can let it point you toward the exact place your growth is hiding. And if fear is the chain, then forgiveness is the key. Because both books agree on something deeply healing. You cannot build a beautiful future while you are still holding a match to the past. You cannot manifest love while you are still marinating in resentment. You cannot think like a monk while you are still holding a trial in your mind for everyone who hurt you. Forgiveness does not mean what they did was okay. Forgiveness means you are finally done giving them rent-free space inside your head. It is not a gift to them. It is a gift to you. So let me bring this home. The monk in the saffron robe and the young woman in the nail salon, they both discovered the same timeless truth. Your life is built twice, once in your mind, then in the world. And whatever is not solved inside your head will eventually show up at your doorstep wearing a new costume. That means the most important work you will ever do is not out there. It is in here, in the quiet, in the breath, in the moment you catch that negative thought and choose not to believe it. In the morning you look in the mirror, and even if you do not feel it, you say, "I am enough." In the evening you write down a dream, and dare to leave the number exactly as it was before your fear shrunk it. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the voice of the people who made you feel small. You are a human being with a mind that can be trained, a heart that can be healed, and a life that is still gloriously unfinished. With each sunrise, you rise into someone new. That is what Roxie tells us. Let go, grow, give. That is what Jay tells us. Two messages, one truth. You are not stuck. You are simply still in the chapter where the character transforms. So here is what I want you to do before you close this video. Take one deep breath, the deepest you have taken all day. Feel it fill your chest. Feel it remind you that you are still here, still alive, still capable. Now think of one dream, just one, the one you have been too scared to say out loud, and whisper to yourself, if fear and doubt were no object, this is what I would build. And then promise yourself this, not tomorrow, not next Monday, starting with the next thought you think. because the life you want is not waiting on luck. It is not waiting on the universe to be in a good mood. It is waiting on you to finally believe you are worthy of it. And when you do, everything changes. Thank you for listening. Go live it.
Winners learn daily. Subscribe and be one of them.